Can you convert a PDF to a Word document for me? After the basics of getting the customer name, the school, and the machine details, which she could not provide me, you can do this yourself by finding the PDF in Downloads, highlighting the doc by clicking onto it and right-clicking, and use the Open with Word option. Then you can save it as a Word document. Customer: oh, can't you remote on and do that for me? I am in the middle of something. Me: our services are for technical issues like if you have no option to open with or it comes up with an error when you try to do this. This is a relatively easy task that takes only a couple of seconds. Getting remote setup on your machine would actually take longer as you said you didn't understand how to provide your machine name. Customer: oh, never mind, I'll log a ticket. Me: feel free, I'll provide written instructions to you so you can convert PDFs to Word. Customer: no, so you convert it and send it back. Me: we have currently 3 schools down due to a power outage. It will take a while for one of us to respond to a low priority ticket. It'll be quicker if you follow my instructions. In addition, as I explained, this is not a technology fault for us to fix. The standard protocol is to send you written instructions. Anybody that gets the ticket will do so. Customer: I thought you were here to assist us with our job. Never mind. Bye the administrator who can't do basic tasks. We are here to help you. If the technology refuses to cooperate and do a task for you, not to remote on and complete that task for you because you do not know how to do it, we can provide you instructions on how to do it, even training, but we will charge. Considering you have worked at the school for over 15 years, you know how to convert a PDF. Don't play dumb on me. If I was having a less stressful day, and she provided the machine information, I would have remoted on and showed her and got her to do it and let her know why it's the way it is. Not able to understand basic instruction, no remote session. If I had £1 for every time I've seen this logged as a technical issue, I'd be retired already. 3 times I have had these calls today. Oh dear. Can't you explain to user that you will be sending the ticket information to their supervisor so that they are aware and can invoke training? They complain directly to our CEO, then I get phone protocol training. Made that mistake before. Teaching staff get away with anything. Then your supervisor/manager was a placeholder. My response would be, users are expected to have basic computer skills and a familiarity with the applications they use. We resolve problems in those cases where normal operations are disrupted in some way. Application training is out of scope and chargeable, although we do, as a courtesy, provide detailed written instructions in PDF format for frequently requested utility application features. In the referenced case, the caller refused the instructions and insisted we do her work. I reviewed the recording. The call was handled professionally and will be used as an example of proper behavior when training new call center staff. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Provide detailed written instructions in PDF format. Can you convert that to a Word doc for me? Thanks. Bye. I'm a computer mechanic. You don't expect the person who fixes your car to be your chauffeur. Or, my job is to help provide the tools you need and ensure they are working. It's your job to use them. Suggesting that you will have to get in contact with their manager to schedule mandatory training usually makes the tickets go away. Either they want the training so next time they open the ticket it can be auto-closed, or they don't want their manager to find out they can't do basic IT things. Either way, problem solved. Bold of you to assume training is an option. You only need the threat. Client can source their own training. It's only the opening move before saying not gonna deal with this issue till you train your staff. Not sure how that works. Client: most IT are employed by the same company as those they support, so the IT team would be doing the training. If I told another department head that one of their peeps now had mandatory training which would require our sign-off anyway, I would have to make one of my staff prepare and perform the training. And in a pandemic works, I know many of us do not have the manpower and spare time we used to. I know it's a thing around here to assume IT has unilateral power for some reason, but that is simply not the case in nearly all companies. I don't get people like this. It is often in the job description to know how to use a computer. How do they stay in their positions without knowing how to do their jobs? It's maddening that lack of computer knowledge is so frequently given a pass. Welcome to the warehouse, Bob. This is the forklift you'll be using for your job. Oh, I'm not very good with forklifts. How does it work? Haha, don't sweat it, Bob. We have people to help when you get stuck. This is a rightfully ludicrous scenario, but in many places, it would be fine if the forklift were a PC. I work at a place that has forklifts. What is the first thing a new hire does, regardless of previous experience with forklift? They take our in-house forklift training. I wish for this for computer users so bad. Forklift has the serious potential to cause harm to yourself or others, or extreme damage with material loss. Unfortunately, computers aren't so dangerous. So there isn't any training, regulation, or enforcement by people like OSHA. Imagine if a computer physically hurt you any time you did something dumb with it. A computer can arguably cause more damage to the company than the forklift. Clicking on private emails at work, which gives you a virus, which leaks all your data. You're pretty much beeped. Even encrypting work computers renders your workplace useless for at least a few days, because why should there be backups? Having all your customer info in an Excel spreadsheet that gets beeped up. It should still be in the interest of the company if the workers with okay computer knowledge can do their task faster and more efficient. If 2 people with good IT knowledge can do the job of 3, it should be in the interest of the company to provide training courses to save money. Update: she logged multiple tickets asking for this to be done. Each one she was sent instructions from different service desk employees. She said she figured it out an hour later. She got another teacher to do it for her. SBM with the salary of $28K. Everybody. Kill me. I'm guessing you are from US, but $28K is bugger all. Well below what should be minimum wage for a full-time teacher. A first-year teacher in Australia earns over $60K. I can see why they get lazy staff who don't bother to learn. Customer: no. So you convert it and send it back. Me: this is not a technology fault for us to fix. The standard protocol is to send you written instructions. Anybody that gets the ticket will do so. I know you're just telling the story, but make sure you stick to your guns on that. We had a new HR rep start about a year ago and kept me asking me minor questions about Excel. Did not fold once. Ended up in a phone conference with her direct supervisor. HR rep is saying that you won't help her with her Excel issues. Robzilla 10001. What's the hang up? Well, sir, the hang up is that it's out of scope. My position has nothing to do with technical instruction or education. I am here to fix things that do not work or facilitate installation and/or repair of on-site hardware. If she's unable to utilize Excel's basic functionality on the level required to complete her work, I would recommend you provide her with some office training classes. Further, her complete disregard for the ticketing system may have made it impossible for you to see how often she is contacting me, but I have emails, chat transcripts, call logs and voicemail recordings. For the contract you have with my company, I am not responsible for basic technical education. If you'd like to renegotiate the contract, I'm sure the service delivery manager would be thrilled to take your call. In the year since, I've heard from her once, due to a VPN issue, and there was a ticket open prior to her calling me. I worked at a uni department. Heads would try to use us as admin support when their budgets got cut. You mean tech support doing the computer-based parts of my job for me? I am shocked. Used to work as admin in a private school. Once had teachers send back an Excel file, telling me that the columns weren't big enough. IT department used to get similar complaints. They had more pull than me to insist that some of these dinosaurs attended IT training. Thus every year I was forced to sit through Excel for Dummies while I was writing macros and VB code to automate my job. I laughed at a user when they asked me to do their job. At the time I thought they were joking. When they got mad and asked, "Did you just laugh at me?" I realized they legitimately thought I should be doing their work. Users gonna use. Users gonna use. Sir, I barely get paid enough to do my job. You have to train end users like you do pets. All of the IT staff has to adopt the same policies, verbiage, and response. Not a single IT staff member can deviate when dealing with end users. Obviously there are VIP users and executives that get special treatment. But the PMs need to all be treated the same across the board so that expectations of service are firmly set. They cannot be allowed to think that there is a way to bypass the system, or get around the process in place. Bean counters are constantly bitching about IT services costing money, being expensive, and they want to squeeze more juice from an already dried up lemon. Forming a hard line against these types of end users and setting expectations is a way to not waste IT time and thus save on operational costs. My boss has been bad about pimping me out to his friends with my time coming out of the company's pocket, but then tells me come raise time that he can barely afford me. Maybe if I was billing clients instead of helping your friend from college, I could get a raise. I have trained my end users by repeating the same questions when they call for support. 1. Have you restarted the computer? 2. Did you check to make sure the cable is plugged in? Did you remove and reset the cable device? 3. Did you try it in another browser, document, email message, etc.? 4. Is anyone else having the same problem? You person that sits 3 feet away from you. 5. If you haven't performed steps 1 to 4, please complete them and call me back when done. Good job staying patient, clearly explaining the processes, and holding the line. Bravo. You have to train end users like you do pets. Hey, can you format this spreadsheet so it looks pretty? No. Whop on the nose with a rolled up newspaper. I like it. I need some music for a video project I'm working on. Could you log in remotely and illegally download the song from this YouTube video I found? No, it's not my job to do your work for you. Bad boy. Sprays user with squirty bottle. I so wish I could implement that. My pricing model accounts for this. They get line items for it and charged by appropriately I mean high-end, disease-free, freaky call girl rates. Nonetheless, I do it all the time and with a smile. It's literally a fire hose of money. I always try and educate them when we're doing it, but I ain't gonna say no. Hell, I had a customer call me from a flight to Hawaii once and ask me to go to his office and shut everything down in the middle of a heavy snowstorm. It took me 3 hours and it was awesome. I got 6 bills to turn off a coffee pot. Customers that ask oddball stuff and pay there, I send them donuts once a month. You want me to take your car to get an oil change after I migrate a server? Sure. Maybe your true calling is that of a butler. No finer profession. 1. Thank you for showing me how to convert PDF to Word. I was wondering how I'd do it but came up blank, but knew I could easily Google it. 2. How do you not leave work every day with the feeling that people are all peeping idiots who would die if it weren't for your skills and you come up empty with reasons regarding why they shouldn't just be left to their own incompetence and just die? Then drink yourself to sleep in a pit of hate and disgust towards the world. Because that would be me. To answer 2. Because it is not always that they are idiots. They are just lazy and can't stand the effort to remember something they have done before or were too lazy to record the instructions on how to do it. Realistically, they probably end the call with you and find some schleb at the office who will do it for them anyways. But surely you techies who are gifts from God, not being sarcastic either, shake your head and your palms after every third call, don't you? The whole reason for this sub. Customer, I thought you were here to assist us with our job. Sorry, IT is not your personal secretary. I used to work for an MSP that supported several financial clients. One of them had a certain user, a PA to the CFO who was a major pain in the arse. She would call up on average about 5 to 10 times a day for various things. Some were fair requests, others fell well into the category of taking the piss. One such call that took place shortly after I joined. She'd called up to say that their quarterly board meeting was coming up, and she'd been sent about 5 multi-page PDFs from various department heads and needed help compiling them all into a PowerPoint slideshow. The tech who took the call remoted in and showed her how to import the PDF pages into PowerPoint slides and to format them so they displayed correctly. He ended up doing most of the work for her. Took around 3 hours. The client was billed by the hour. He kept saying, "That's how you import the page into a slide. Can I leave that with you to do the rest?" But she wasn't having any of it. He had the look of a shell-shock victim when he finally got off the phone. 3 months later she calls back with exactly the same request. As the senior tech, I took over the call and told her in no uncertain terms that this was not our job. We were to help with actual IT problems, not to carry out their secretarial admin work for them. Ironically, when we pulled off an end-of-year billing report for that client, just the tickets that this one particular user raised added up to about 70,000 in billable hours. For that much money they could have hired 2 experienced second-line techs in-house and eradicate the need for an MSP altogether. But of course we didn't tell them that. Working as a tech support IBM contractor at one time, this would be a gold mine. I can do things outside of scope like replace your toner or paper. It'll be about $300 for that 5 minutes work, though. Please just submit an out-of-scope work ticket and I'll get right on it. Please submit 1 ticket per document. We do have a minimum hour charge per ticket, though. Then I can deactivate your AD account when your boss sees the bill.